That's our big story tonight. 12 News tracking dramatic new developments in the rape investigation at Hacienda Healthcare.
The story made headlines across the country, even internationally, sparking outrage in the community after a woman with serious intellectual disabilities gave birth at the facility unexpectedly. Now a nurse who worked there is being charged in a rape.
That suspect is 36-year-old Nathan Sutherland. He's a licensed practical nurse who worked at Hacienda for nearly a decade. Today we're learning that he was responsible for the victim's care when she was raped and impregnated. He's now facing charges for sexual assault.
Team 12's Mike Gonzalez has been following this news since it broke this morning, and he begins our team coverage tonight. Mike, this was a real team effort to arrest this guy, wasn't it?
Mark and Tram, it certainly was. Chief Jerry Williams said it was a combination of good old-fashioned police work along with her dedicated officers and DNA technology that connected Nathan Sutherland to this unthinkable crime. 36-year-old Nathan Sutherland is the person police believe raped and impregnated a 29-year-old seriously intellectually disabled woman inside the Hacienda Healthcare facility.
From the minute we first became aware of this crime, a sexual assault, we have worked virtually nonstop every day, every night, 7 days a week, trying to solve and resolve this case.
Mr. Sutherland, may I have your full name, please?
Sutherland now facing 1 count of sexual assault and 1 count of abuse of a vulnerable adult. He was taken into custody Tuesday after submitting to a court-ordered DNA test, something all the male employees at Hacienda Healthcare had to take.
Yesterday, Mr. Sutherland was brought in under the order of a court order. He provided a DNA sample. That DNA sample was tested. It was later in the afternoon that we went back and recontacted him, took him into custody.
There's no direct evidence that Mr. Sutherland has committed these acts.
Despite the severity of the alleged crime, Sutherland's lawyer asking the judge for a reasonable bond because he has no prior criminal history, has young ones of his own, and has lived in the area since 1993. That request quickly denied.
Mr. Sutherland, the court, based on everything I have reviewed and what I've heard this morning, the court is inclined, or is going to order, rather, a cash-only bond of $500,000.
Phoenix police say even though Nathan Sutherland is behind bars, this investigation is far from over.
Again, this investigation is ongoing. That would be one of our concerns, is were there other victims or how many times this occur.
And as police mentioned, this investigation does continue, so they're asking if you have any more information about Nathan Sutherland, please contact them at 480-WITNESS. Nathan Sutherland will make his next court appearance on January 30th in Superior Court. Guys.
All right, Mike, thank you.